buddy. Hey, buddy.
Hey guys, welcome back. I've been very busy. Sorry I haven't had a chance to do videos for you. I know some of you guys have reached out, hopefully, asking me if I was doing okay, and thank you for that. Yep, I'm doing very well. So I've got some good articles for you here. I'm just going to go through a lot of different things from a lot of different angles to make sure, we do have a few new people. That way nobody misses anything, and we can see, because everybody wants to know why hasn't the rate changed, what's it waiting on, and when is it going to change. So let's cover those bases. Let's look at what's happening. Now, remember, I told you guys, too, that Iraq wasn't going to get much done kind of from December 15th through January 15th. And that's because, guys, those are holiday periods observed by, top officials and banking officials around the world. Okay, so that's going to be kind of a quiet period. It always is. Okay, so don't forget, guys, Iraq's fiscal year, okay? And you guys cannot go out on the internet and research this, okay? Iraq's fiscal year before they went under the Chapter 7 sanctions, going clear back to 1990, from what Saddam Hussein did to Kuwait, guys, prior to 90, Iraq's fiscal year was April of one year through March of the next. Okay, the exact same as Kuwait's, and again, that's why Kuwait changed their rate on March 24th of 91. They did it at the end of March, specifically on a Sunday. It's got to happen on a Sunday. Same with Iraq, on a Sunday. It's got to happen before April 1st. That way they walk into a new budget fiscal period, okay, to cover the new budget period with the new rate, okay? So we've got some articles for you here. Let's look at this. First article is delete the zeros, must be at the beginning of a new fiscal period. If we go down to the highlight right here, or the blue highlight right here that I just highlighted for you, they're saying right here that the timing is very important in this case and that its implementation must coincide with the beginning of a new fiscal year, okay? So they're telling you. And let's look at something for a second, guys, because this article has some good stuff in it, okay? I've seen some of your guys' comments, and so I have some concerns for a moment. Some of you guys are working off of what other gurus are telling you that Iraq might or may devalue their Iraq dinar. And just so you guys know, this entire video is my opinion, and that's simply that. It's my opinion and should not be used for financial advice, okay? But right here, guys, they're showing you they want to bring forth lower denoms, okay? Okay, in the last 3 to 6 months, they have put out BS articles, and I told you they were BS. They put out BS articles to you telling you that they were just going to devalue the Iraq dinar, okay? But right here, guys, again, this article is from September 6th of 2012. It's a little bit of an older article, but it's telling you right here, and what I highlighted for you, they want to release lower denoms. Now, what decides? What will be the influencing factor that decides whether Iraq devalues the currency, okay, or actually releases lower notes to where they have two currencies in circulation? They have large 3-0 notes and smaller notes in circulation against an increased exchange rate, which is what Kuwait did. Okay, so again, Kuwait increased their exchange rate, but as you guys see, Iran is in the process of devaluing their currency. What is the influencing factor on this? Okay, guys, it's their inflation. Inflation determines whether they devalue the currency or raise, or take zeros off the exchange rate and increase the value of the exchange rate. It's the inflation that determines that, okay? Now, Iran has their inflation greater right now than 40%, okay? Versus Kuwait has a very low inflation. That's why back in 91, Kuwait increased the value of their currency, and that's why right now Iran is in the process of devaluing their currency itself, taking zeros off the notes to devalue it, okay? Guys, let's talk about Iraq now. Iraq's currency, Iraq has no inflation, guys. I've already shown you and told you in multiple articles, their inflation simply, it's less than 0.5%. It's at 4% right now. So Iraq pretty much has no inflation, guys. They're at 4%. That's why Iraq is going to increase the value of their exchange rate. They'll raise the exchange rate and release lower denoms. And many, many, many years ago, when Shabibi was still the governor of the central bank, guys, probably somewhere around anywhere from 2010 to 2011, Shabibi came out saying there would be two different currencies in circulation at the same time, which are large 3-0 notes and smaller notes, which like I've highlighted here for you, okay, in circulation together, sharing the same increased exchange rate, okay? So that's the truth in this. Everything. So I've noticed some of you guys have put comments out. I'm not gonna battle this out with you guys. I'm not gonna argue it with you, but some of you guys have actually put comments out talking about the currency devaluing, and yet if you feel they're gonna devalue it, that's fine. If you feel they're gonna devalue it, I don't even know why you would want to listen to me. Okay, I mean I'm not, I'm just bringing you hard facts that. But see, when you guys bring these comments out, you're not helping the learning process here, because I bring hard facts to you, and it just brings BS into the fix, and that's just not good. So if you guys are if you're gonna say, hey, I think they're gonna actually devalue the currency, and then you're gonna counter what I say and you want to argue it, kindly take the time to put the reason why. Okay, put a strong determining reason. Don't just say it because you heard it from gurus, or don't just say it because you saw it in an article. Now, just because you see it in an article doesn't even mean it's true, guys. They're pumping out lies left and right in these news. Okay? Put your hard factual reason why. I'm telling you why, and I'm telling you what the determining factor is, guys. It's inflation. Okay? So, I mean, if you guys are welcome to post your thoughts and what you think might happen, but if you're going to do that, don't just do it on an opinion basis, because if you're going to do it on an opinion basis, then I'm just going to block you guys so you can't post at all. Okay? I don't want opinions in this. I want facts. And again, factual data is okay. You're okay to disagree with me as long as you have facts for what you say. I'm okay with factual counter arguments, but I don't want opinions in here, because that just makes it much harder for everybody to learn, because a lot of your comments are read, and that's good. I want you guys to have good comments. Anyway, let's move forward, guys. So down at the bottom here, here's another one, guys. This is from August 20th of 2012. It says the Iraqi government accounts must be registered in the same, or cannot be registered in the same year. So two forms of financial value. So here's what they're saying, guys. This is a very important statement right here by Mohammed Saleh. It's actually got two key parts. Okay, I'm just going to highlight the whole thing, because he says the exchange rate must come at the new fiscal year. Okay, but then he says after the exchange rate coming at the new fiscal year, he says they basically cannot have two different currency values. Okay, that's why he says Iraqi government accounts cannot be registered in the same year, meaning two forms of financial values. So they're telling you they cannot have two financial values registered in the same year. Okay, that's why, like I've been stressing to you, it has everything to do with a new budget fiscal year. That way, when they close out one budget fiscal year period, it had one rate, and then a new budget fiscal period would have a new exchange rate. Okay, so they're blatantly telling you right here they can't have two different currency values during the same fiscal budget period. Okay, it has everything to do with fiscal budget periods. That's why I've tried to tell you guys, I want you to think about this carefully as to why did they back up the reforms? Why did they wait on the reforms until what is their Q4 period from January through March? Why did they back that? Why are they only implementing the reforms in Q4 to back them up to their new budget period starting April 1st for 21? Think about that carefully, guys. Okay, I still haven't told you guys why they've done that. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting to tell you the reasons why on that. Some of you know, because I've told you privately. Okay, and then don't forget, also in January, guys, Iraq's gonna make a move in January to make you think they have no intentions of increasing the exchange rate. Once they do it, I will, and I can bring that to you factually in the news. I will tell you exactly what it is. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, just so you guys know, Brent oil is the factor that determines what is the value of Iraq's, that helps support Iraq's budgets and everything. Okay, So as you see right here, as of last Friday, which was December 4th, Brent oil closed out at in the $49 range. It almost hit, okay, $50. So right here, 49.86 was Friday's high, okay? Almost hit $50 a barrel. So in my opinion, Iraq is going to kind of stay patient to give oil a chance to go up so that they can monitor what oil does, okay? So, because oil is a big driving factor for all their budgets. Brent oil, as you guys know that. Let's move on. A new crisis awaits salaries. It takes 45 days to vote on the budget. Guys, they keep putting out these articles telling you they're going to try to get the budget done and approved by the end of December, guys. There's no way they can. I've told you, I've stressed to you laws, a budget's a law which takes 45 days. Here they're telling you 45 days. So finally they caught up and they're telling you the truth, okay? Right here, oil disturbs Iraq's 21 budget and expected update on the dinar exchange rate, amending the numbers to reduce the financial deficit. Guys, this article's kind of a little bit misleading because this article does not go into great detail on the exchange rate, okay? Let's look at this. Parliamentary Finance Committee informed the Presidency, House of Representatives today, Sunday, will hold continuous meetings as soon as the general budget law arrives in Parliament for discussion and approval as soon as possible. It is likely that the 21 budget will be approved by the end of this December. I got some green highlights here for you. The government has postponed sending the budget to the House of Representatives due to high oil prices in the global market, which requires formulating the numbers in the budget sections to reduce financial deficit, ceiling, and increase revenues. And guys, oil prices are still going up, so there's a good chance they can even wait longer, okay? Because oil prices are going up so that they can have oil prices where they need them for the 21 budget again starting April 1st, okay? That way, guys, in my opinion, by April 1st, oil will probably be between somewhere from $55 to $60 a barrel, okay, which will be right where they need it to fund and cover the 21 budget. Because remember, guys, they had oil priced out in what was going to be the 2020 budget. They had oil priced out at $56 a barrel in the 2020 budget, okay? So, next one. He explained the cabinet will meet next Tuesday and may approve the budget, then or hold a special session to discuss approve the budget next Wednesday, which means the budget will reach presidency of Parliament early next week. Remember, guys, the number one thing they lie to you about is Parliament's, anything they're going to do when they give dates. That's the number one thing they lie on, okay? Do not trust them with Parliament and dates. He added the draft budget is still up to the Secretary of Council of Ministers to audit in coordination with special committee from the Ministry of Finance and the International Monetary Fund to update the dinar exchange rate before the end of the fiscal year. And guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is a classified event. They will never tell you when they plan to change the exchange rate. And right here, the fact that they're telling you before the end of this fiscal year, okay, well, you know what? You know what, guys? Hold on a sec. So here, remember, Iraq's fiscal year ends in March. So actually, guys, this is really good confirming news. I actually like what I see here. It says here, the draft budget is still to the General Secretary Council of Ministers to audit in coordination with the special committee from the Ministry of Finance and the International Monetary Fund to update the Iraq dinar exchange rate before the end of the fiscal year, guys. And remember, I told you that they also have to do it by the end of their fiscal year, which is March. So right here, guys, they literally just confirmed to you exactly what I told you. Right there, highlighted blue. International Monetary Fund to update the Iraq dinar exchange rate before the end of the fiscal year, guys. That's by the end of March. So now they're confirming and telling you exactly what I did, indicating that according to the government estimates that we have informed about the price of barrel in the general budget of $42 to $43, guys. Mark my words, that is not the accurate number. That number will go up. Okay? Oil right now, I just showed you, is at almost $50 a barrel as of Friday. The official spokesman, Council of Ministers, and the Culture Hassan Nazem announced last week the Council of Ministers decided to postpone its session devoted to discussing the draft federal budget law 21 until yesterday, Saturday, and it has not been held yet, guys. They need a little more time on the budget, guys. Plus, they're monitoring oil prices, even climbing and rising right now. So, Parliament presidency, the 21 budget will be approved faster than its predecessors, guys. I'm not even going to read this article, guys, just because they're just saying they're going to approve it faster, guys. And in reality, they're not. This budget's going to roll into what is Iraq's Q4 period of next year, January through March. It included 2 prominent files. Parliamentary Finance reveals the features of the agreement between Baghdad and Erbil. All we care about, guys, here are the green highlights. Basically, Kurdistan and Baghdad are now in agreement on the budget, so that step's done. So now the budget has to go off to the Council of Ministers, okay, to be drafted and created. Okay, so right here, the Kurdistan portion of the budget, Kurdistan's getting 12.67% of the budget. Okay, so that's done. Kurdistan and Baghdad are now in full agreement. That means the next step is the budget will go off to the Council of Ministers to be drafted. Parliament fails to amend Article 140 of the Constitution concerning the disputed. Guys, as I've told you and stressed to you, Article 140 and HCL are the same. Both Article 140 and the HCL are inside the reforms, not necessarily the 21 budget, but the reforms. Now remember, they've told us they want to spread out the reforms over a 3 to 5 year period. So somewhere during that 3 to 5 year period, they will be implementing Article 140 and HCL that does require funding. Okay, we don't know when that is, just anywhere in that 3 to 5 year period, because they're going to spread all this out, fund this over a 3 to 5 year period. Okay, so there you go. But now the reason they can't implement, and I've already stressed this to you guys, the reason they can't amend the Constitution and add 140 or HCL, because the rate has to change first. Okay, I'm not going to read this to you, but again, the rate has to change first in order for them to amend the Constitution to add Article 140 and the HCL to it. Okay, next article. Parliamentary finance. Urgent parliamentary finance. The government will reformulate the 2021 budget and send it to Parliament next week. I don't trust them on dates, but I got some good red highlights here for you. Ministry of Finance and the International Monetary Fund to update the exchange rate of the Iraq dinar. Okay? So right there, we can read this article. It says the Parliamentary Finance Committee revealed that the government decided to reformulate the draft federal budget for 21. The government has postponed sending it to Parliament until now. We believe that it is justified because the price of oil has changed. As it has risen as of Friday, it reached $49 a barrel and may rise more, guys. So that's why I've told you they may wait even longer they most likely will. I think they're going to wait a little bit to let oil get back at least in the 50s, okay? Basra crude is more expensive than Brent crude, and this government requires formulating the figures in the budget to reduce the fiscal deficit and increase revenues. He added the other reason for the delay in the budget is the existence of understandings between the Ministry of Finance and the International Monetary Fund to update the exchange rate of the Iraq dinar, as it is a sensitive issue and must be updated in a way that does not cause inflation. Okay? The arrival of the budget to Parliament this week, it says Al-Safar ruled out the arrival of the budget to Parliament this week because changing and checking it takes time. I expect it to be sent to Parliament next week. There are no sessions next week, but the Finance Committee will hold continuous meetings until it is completely presented to Parliament. It is noteworthy that the informed sources say that the Cabinet will vote on the 21 budget bill at its next Tuesday session with expectations of a deficit of 25%. So as you guys go, they're telling you now, remember guys, I stressed to you that the borrowing law was the last step needed in order for them to change the exchange rate, guys. That's why right now Iraq's putting a huge emphasis on the exchange rate and on their economy and on the banking reforms, because they're now at the point to where they're ready to change the rate, but they can only change the rate closer to the timing of a new fiscal budget period, as they told you in the article in the beginning of this video. Okay? So, but I also have proven to you factually they can only change the rate, or they have to change the rate by the end of what is their Q4 period, by the end of Q4, by the end of March of 21. They have to change the rate by that's your back wall, the end of March. Okay? And they even told you that. I'll even show you again, right? Hold on. Right, where was that? Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm drawing a blank here. Where was that at? Hold on. We talked about the International Monetary Fund. Where was that at? Shoot, I apologize, guys. Where was... Yeah, it was where those green highlights were. It had to be in here. Hold on. The international. Anyway, guys, let's just move forward. I apologize. Anyway, I can't find it. But anyway, yeah. So I showed you that piece a moment ago where it talked about. It actually talked about. It said the International Monetary Fund wanted to, increase the exchange rate, okay, by the end of the fiscal year. Okay, again, they've just now confirmed to you by the end of March, exactly like I'm telling you. 2 reasons for blocking the approval of the 21 budget. Talk of changing the exchange rate and concerns about the salaries deadlock. 2 reasons for blocking the approval of the 21 budget. Talk of changing the exchange rate and concerns about the salaries deadlock. Baghdad Parliament's financial reporter reveals new details about a new crisis that the Iraqi economy is going through, concerns the political technical consensus regarding the budget for next year. One of the reasons for delaying the budget for the approval is witnessing oil prices. We know that. We believe that a budget of 70 trillion dinar will be sufficient for Iraq, noting that budgets exceed 100 trillion have not been spent yet. Away from the parliament is witnessing regarding the upcoming budget. Al-Safar explained that there are negotiations between the Ministry of Finance and the International Monetary Fund regarding the exchange rate of the dollar and this matter. And in the previous article, they said by the end of the fiscal year, which again is by the end of March. So they've confirmed it. Exactly what I told you, how they got it at the back wall. Now is the end of March, and now they're telling you that. A delegation from the region will visit Baghdad to discuss budget handling mechanisms, adding we believe that 250,000 barrels of oil per day will be delivered to Baghdad, as well as 50 imports from the ports. He stressed the Kurdistan region readiness to hand over all imports in exchange for Baghdad for oil-producing companies. On the other hand, he expressed his fear of a third borrowing scenario by the government. They're not going to borrow any more money, guys. The postponement of the cabinet session on the file to decide the fate of the 21 budget, guys. See, a lot of this is BS. There is no fate on it's. They need to give the budget time because oil prices are rising. A lot of this is BS. Okay. The postponement, repeat again. There will be doubts. It is government to attempt to impose a borrowing law on the 21 budget law. They're not going to borrow any more money, guys. A lot of these articles have BS in them, but some truth. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to read this whole thing. You already know what they're working on here is they're really telling you that the Ministry of Finance is working with the International Monetary Fund on increasing Iraq's exchange rate, but they did tell us in another article that they got to do it by the end of the fiscal year, guys, which again, that is the end of March, not December, okay? So let's move forward. I got a little more for you. The Iraqi Council of Ministers postpones the 21 budget session, guys. This was from Saturday, okay? They revealed on Saturday that the 21 budget, it needs more time. And again, it's because oil prices are changing, and that's why they're telling you they want a little more time right here. Oil prices are still rising. Remember, they've recently had OPEC meetings. This is all part of the plan to bring oil prices back up, to literally have it kind of timed and have it ready to be at the right price by April 1st, when Iraq goes to implement their 21 budget, okay? They want to be able to cover Iraq's budget so they don't have to borrow money for reforms and stuff, okay? That's all this article is telling you about here, right there. They want to get oil up from $41 to $48 per barrel. So anyway, there you guys go. Everything's looking really good. But again, it's usually a very quiet period in Iraq from, kind of like I've told you, not much is going to happen from December 15th to January 15th. They might have some progress on the 21 budget, guys, but I don't really think that Parliament's going to really get that thing approved, guys, until what is Iraq's Q4 of next year from January through March, okay? And again, guys, I still have two outstanding things I've got to share with you, but I'm only going to share with you when the time is right. Remember, in January, Iraq is going to make a key move to make you think they have no intentions of increasing that exchange rate, okay? When it happens in January, I will tell you about it. And I'll even show you factual articles to back it, so you know that, because I back everything I share with facts. And then again, Iraq, I've shown you, or I've shared with you why it has to do with the payment portion of funding the reforms, because they have allocated payments in their fiscal year of 2020. Okay, they're telling us they have a payment due in the fiscal year of 2020. That means they have to change the rate in the fiscal period of 2020 as well. So Iraq already confirmed to us factually they've got to change the rate by the end of their fiscal year of 2020, which is by the end of March. Okay, and they just now told you that too in an article I showed you a moment ago. So anyway, guys, everything's doing very well. Hope you guys are doing great. Guys, as I'm not going to do a ton of videos every week, I will bring you kind of like I have as key information comes forth, and I have very key important information to show you. But don't forget, like I've told you since Iraq, I stressed to you guys, and I know for a fact I was the first one to tell you this, okay? I told you that after the borrowing law, Iraq had nothing left to do. They would be ready to change the rate after that borrowing law. They could change the rate anytime after the borrowing law. I stress this to you, okay? That's why since you've seen the borrowing law done and approved, that's why all of Iraq's new articles are now coming out talking about they're putting a huge emphasis on the exchange rate, launching and improving their economy internationally, and improving the banking sector through reforms, guys. They're doing this, they're telling you this, and the reason they're putting a big emphasis on all these items, including the exchange rate, guys, is because they're now ready to do it. But again, it has to be timed with the beginning of a new budget fiscal period, which again, their next budget fiscal period will start April 1st of next year. But I've already shown you Iraq does have to change rate by the end of March. Okay, so there you guys go. There's all your latest factual intel. Hey, you guys are the best. God bless you guys, and have a great day. Take care.